What up? This is Robert Ory.
Ory, three-pointer. Buries it!
You might know me as Big Shot Bob.
To Ory for three. Oh, unbelievable. This guy is off the charts.
What's going on, Big Shot Bob?
Robert Ory from downtown.
Let's call it episode 127 of the Big Shot Bob podcast. That is B-Dog Brandon Harper. My name is Rob Jenners. Coming to us live from the heart of Hurricane Hillary is seven-time NBA champion Robert Ory. You live in like what is the apex of the universe right now. There's a hurricane, there's a tropical storm, there's an earthquake. It's like, what the hell's going on out there, man?
Hey, it's weird because I just had my birthday party and I won't say I was hungover, but I was laying in the bed. All of a sudden, it started shaking. I'm like, what the fuck going on? And then I'm looking outside.
I definitely had too much to drink.
I'm like, yeah, my wife was still knocked out. I was like, Candace, was that an earthquake? And all of a sudden the phone's going, ding, ding, ding,
no.
you know. And so, yeah, I was like, wow.
Man.
But it rained hard and fast, but
did you have any flooding or anything? Or you
not
guys
where
good?
I am.
Okay,
not where I am.
All right, yeah, I saw
Yeah,
Dodger
so
Stadium got pretty flooded.
Yeah, I'm like 10 minutes from 10 miles from Dodger Stadium. So, but
Yeah.
we didn't get that much rain over here.
Yeah,
We got
y'all
some
aren't-
rain, but we on top of a hill, so we good.
Y'all aren't. LA ain't built to handle that. That's.
Well, I think the last time they had a tropical
It was like 80
storm
years
was-
ago.
Yeah, it was forever ago.
But here's the crazy part. People realize just maybe about 2 or 3 months ago, we had that rain for like 30 days and 30 nights, whatever it
Oh
was.
yeah,
Yeah.
when
And
the ark
nobody
showed
was
up.
complaining.
Yeah.
Nobody was complaining about that. So we get one day of rain. They're like, oh, all this stuff is going on. I know we had the mudslides, and I feel bad for all the people who was involved in that. But they forget, we just had a ton of rain. We had so much rain that it filled the aqueduct back up, and it took us out of a drought. And people forget about that. So it was, we needed the rain. They always need rain in Cali.
Yeah, you absolutely do. But yeah, that was a crazy story. I just wanted to check in on you, make sure everything was okay, because I have to turn on the news and it's like, it's a hurricane in Southern California. I'm like, what the hell?
I know it. And then it's an earthquake.
And then it's an earthquake in the first thing of the morning. I'm like, good Lord, what is going on out there?
Though, the people with the memes.
Oh, the memes have been wild.
Oh my God, they've been
Dude, the memes
funny.
have been everywhere. The memes have been everywhere.
And they have like, oh, so you think you can't? Oh, we can't mess with you with a hurricane? Okay, we're gonna send an earthquake at you.
Okay.
And they say, you know what's next? The locusts. I'm like, no, we don't want no.
No, we
damn
don't
locusts.
need any plagues. Don't unleash any plagues. We're good. Biblical plagues, we can live with that.
Lord, we don't need to play.
We have a cool guest today on the
Yes.
show that we're going to get to in a few minutes here. We got a couple things we're going to talk about off the top, but before we get to our guest, Andy Bernstein has
Andy
been the photographer for, I think he works for the Lakers. I'm not sure if he works for the league or the Lakers. We'll ask him, but he's photographed. I mean everything. And it's funny because we'll talk to him about it all, I'm sure. But if you've seen a picture of something that's gone down in the NBA in the last 40 years, there's a good chance Andy took it. There's a damn good chance it was Andy.
Hey, it's like sometimes you know from playing with the Lakers and all of a sudden you with Spurs and all of a sudden I'm like, Andy, it's playoff. What the hell you doing here? I'm like, oh shit, you just don't work for just the the Lakers. You work for the NBA. But Andy's been around for a long time. He's just not
he's seen it
a
all.
person I got. He's a friend of mine now. I like the guy a lot. He's a really nice guy too.
He's a good dude. Yeah, so I'm sure he's gonna have stories for us. I can't wait to find out if he's got any good Robert Ory stories. So we'll get to Andy B in a few minutes here. You mentioned your party. You're having a party at your house. It's almost your birthday.
I had
birthday. You had the party, but birthday's coming up, right? Birthday is
birthday's
Friday.
Friday.
Okay. Well, happy birthday.
Thank you.
How old are you now?
I will be 53.
53 years old.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I'm gonna go get me some Grecian Foreman and get rid of the Grado.
Oh no! Don't do that.
Man,
Dude, lean into it, man. That's what I've done.
Man,
I'm
gonna
all
use that.
salt and pepper, baby. Lean into it.
Using it just for men.
Just for me, yeah.
Yeah, you get a shot. That's what Andy get you a picture of you in the shower putting the just for men in your beard. Yeah.
No, here's a funny thing. So, my brother, my brother and I, we have never really been close. I don't know, out there. Well, I try to do things with him every once in a while. So I invited him out to the party, and my wife went into his bathroom because where his room is kind of where the pool bath is, and was getting ready for the party. She's like, there was something on the counter, and I couldn't figure out it was black. And she's like, then I looked to the left and it said, just for men. I said, and I was killing him about that, dude. I'm like, dude, are you trying to put just for men and let it happen, dude?
You can't leave it out. You can't leave it out. If you're going to do it, you got to do it in private quarters. You got to clean up your mess afterward. Come on.
You got to make sure nobody knows you're using it.
Well, anyway, we were talking about parties. Joel Embiid's wedding has come up yet again. We talked about this a couple weeks ago, but here's why. Joel Embiid's wedding was attended by Knicks president Leon Rose and executive vice president William Wesley. And then according to Mark Stein, both Knicks president and top aide were there at a recent wedding. And while it's true they used to represent him as a player, it's suggested that their attendance was, quote, not nothing. That you've got Knicks management at Embiid's wedding. And we used to work together, but now you're starting to get a little bit more bubble up on this idea that with everything going on with James Harden, is Joel Embiid starting to look other places?
I mean, like we said last week, the way this thing is going with James Harden, at some point in time, Joel's going to get to a point where it's like, all right, this ain't. What are we doing here? That was
last week. That was us just assuming that maybe you'd get there.
No, it wasn't an assumption.
Now you're really starting to get legitimate tracks on that.
No, when I said what I said, I meant it.
Oh, no, I know you meant it. But we were saying it without anything to show for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nothing to show for it. But at the same time, you can kind of see the writing on the wall because then what's there left for Joel Embiid to stay for? If you go from being a contender with him and James and
don't
Tyrese
you dare
Maxey.
say Ben Simmons.
No, Jesus, no. Nobody thinking about no damn Ben Simmons.
Don't you dare say Ben Simmons.
Just withering away on the bench, all 6'10" of them. He just
Captain Street clothes.
It's just that's when you go from being a contender, viable contender in the East, to now he's like Will Smith in the last episode of Fresh Prince, looking around the room when they move
nothing
out.
There.
Nothing there. So. Why would he stay? Now, they can offer him the most money, but he can go make the money anywhere. He would probably want to leave some money on the table to try to go compete for a title. But
for me, I don't look at it as anything, especially with Worldwide West being there. West is at everybody's wedding. But for me, people always want to try to nitpick, and if it wasn't for social media, we wouldn't know anything about this.
That's true.
But, I think when you represent someone, you form a bond, and that bond had to be broken because he went on to be the president for the Knicks, so he can't represent him. So I'm sure they still are close. You got to think about it. Joel Embiid was street clothes for like 3 years. He didn't play for his first 3 years, so you really formed because your agent's going to be there, keeping you mentally up and ready and say, hey, it's going to be all right. Just keep, trusting the process and you're going to get to being on the floor. And now we're here. So that bond is probably kind of special between those two guys. And like I said, Worldwide West knows everybody. So I don't even see this as anything but someone just enjoying, some fellowship, some brotherhood, and probably some good drinks.
Dang, I forgot he was the original street clothes.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He was.
I forget about that. It seemed like so long ago.
Yeah.
I would say, to me, who the original street clothes is?
Who?
Bowie.
Sam Bowie?
Yeah, when he got, that mug couldn't stay on the floor for nothing when he got to the league.
I don't remember.
They took him over Jordan.
Him and Ralph Sampson, they just couldn't
Ralph
stay
Sampson,
healthy.
I remember, couldn't stay healthy for nothing.
Those knees were bad. Yeah.
Yeah, boy. You talking about going? Your place in history is, bro. You went before Michael Jordan. That's how people remember you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's so funny you say that. All I can remember is him landing in Portland and holding his leg up, and it was broken. It was just bent over that. I was like, oh no! And he's just like looking at it like, not again.
Yeah. Do we want to dive into the Harden stuff? Because I've got audio from him. Let me just play the audio. I don't know if there's anything here that we haven't talked about, but this is Harden back on U.S. soil in Philly.
Do you have an open line of communication with the 76ers, and how much patience do you need to have to let this play out?
I'm been patient all summer, so for me it's just focus on what I can control, and that's working out, staying in shape, and getting ready for a good season.
Too late to repair the relationship?
I think so.
All right, so it's for him, it's too late. But we talked about this last week. Is the relationship broken with Daryl Morey, or is it broken with the 76ers? And I don't think there's any resolution coming out of this. That's the other problem. This story's going to drag on forever.
I thought about it. I said the same thing. I don't think anything can happen. And wasn't that, Harden has a big weekend in Houston for his birthday. He does a lot of charity event, does a lot of stuff for the community. And I know I think that was a part of it, wasn't it, when he did that?
I believe so, yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, big ups to him for doing a lot, going back to Houston and doing the things he's doing for the community. But I don't think the fact that he's staying in shape because he looked good, I don't think he's going back to the field. I think he's that type of guy. He's made enough money that he'll sit out until something
then
is
why
done.
Take your option? Yeah. Like, if that was your intent, that's fine. But why take the option and forfeit the money?
Mm-hmm. Well, promises were probably made to him to why he took that option. And then they're like, they backing out on those promises.
Yeah, because he
called.
Is
why he's,
Because I think it also came out that the reason why he called Daryl Morey a liar is because Morey told him that they were, when he wanted out, that, we'll get you out as quickly as possible. And that hasn't been the case, and that's where the liar came from.
I don't give a shit.
No, he didn't.
Hey,
I got you. No. I'm saying that was Daryl. That was Daryl Morey. Yeah. But it came back around. So I don't give a shit. Yeah. Whatever I said. You took your option. Now you're stuck here.
So that's where that liar came from.
Now you're stuck here, fool. Yeah. This and the Dame Lillard possible trade to Miami are two things that are never going to pan out. These stories are never going to end. They're going to be on the show sheet every week from now until this show will end before those stories end.
Who's traded first, James Harden or Dame Lillard?
James Harden.
I don't know.
I say James Harden because he's rocking the boat. Dame Lillard hasn't really used.
Well, he's been fined $100,000. He just got fined. James Harden just got fined $100,000 today.
Oh, he did?
Yes.
See. Like I said, James Harden, because he's rocking the boat.
Eventually, he's going to want some money, and they're going to put something together for him. But I don't know. Those two storylines don't seem like they're ever going to end. Well, Rob, why don't you introduce our guest, man?
Does he really need to be introduced?
Oh, I guess you should probably just at least say his name, and just so people know who's on the show.
This is the legend himself, Andy B. Andy's been around for, Andy, how long have you been around?
Well,
I've been knowing you since I was a rookie.
This will be year 43 this year.
43 years.
43 years.
Yeah.
Man.
And I have to tell you, I've stopped counting in actual numbers. I'm counting in jerseys now. So like last year was James Worthy, 42. This year, Michael Thompson, 43. My goal is to get to Ralph Sampson. 50.
Oh, I was gonna say, I'm doing the math in my head. I'm like, what the hell number did Ralph Sampson wear?
Hey, you sure you want to get the Dennis Rodman's number?
Wow.
I might be doing that from another area code, Rob.
Yeah, for real. So, Andy's been the photographer. So, are you the Lakers photographer? Is that kind of the official position? Because I know you photograph everything in the NBA.
Yeah, things have morphed a little bit, guys. I like to say I work for the NBA because that's where my check comes from, but I'm basically leased out to the Lakers and Clippers and Sparks because those are our home teams. It's kind of that's the way it works in all the different markets throughout the league, where the NBA essentially hires the team photographer, and the team photographer has historically done all the work that the team needs, but they're not on the team's dime, if that makes any sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
I think. Sorry, I think for me, Andy, it's like I've been knowing you for so long, but I don't know. How did you get your start? What made you want to go into shooting sweaty ass guys running around the court?
Well, it's a great question, Rob, because we all started somewhere, and there was a love. Like you had a love for the game, I had a love for sports in general. I grew up in Brooklyn and played a lot of street sports. Basketball, street hockey. Football in the winter on concrete, stickball, and my dad was a huge sports fan, mostly hockey. We had Rangers season tickets my whole life growing up, and that was how my dad and I bonded, was over sports. We'd go to a Mets game. I went to almost every Ranger game from when maybe 9 or 10 years old till I went to college. So I found out that I had a hankering for photography when I was about 14. My dad bought me a camera, and we made a trip to the western United States, all the national parks and stuff. And I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed being able to create, express myself through a camera. And it became sort of a career choice, through a few different different paths. And what better than to marry your two passions together, sports, photography. And, I get a pretty good seat on the court. So,
pretty good seat. You can go wherever you want.
I always joke that the people sitting behind me are paying like the $4,000 a seat, Rob.
And they're watching you take pictures.
Right. But the only deal on that is I have to block for them if Shaq's going to be coming straight at us. I'm the guy who takes the hit.
So I guess there's a good question. What have you caught a few hits? You had to have caught a few hits down there.
Oh, yeah. There's been a few. It amazes me, and Rob, you'll attest to this, that how agile, nimble, and in control you guys are, especially in midair. It just blows me away how you can look so completely out of control, but yet you guys can stop on a dime. You don't usually hit us. Shaq.
Only if we don't like you.
Right. Well, I have a funny story about that. The first time I got hit was very early in my career. It was around 84. I remember this, and the Denver Nuggets were in town playing the Lakers, and T.R. Dunn came flying into me. I mean, just like
Alabama.
Yeah, just right. Laid me out. I'm like, I don't know, man. I was like, waiting for to get the last rites or something, and he looks down at me and goes, "Why the hell didn't you get out of the way?" Sorry, dude. I was going to do my job over here. Not really anywhere to go.
Hey, and for me, that would be the hard part because you're trying to get that perfect pick, and all of a sudden you're like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
and you kind of get frozen.
Yeah.
It's not like that moment when Shaq was running towards the bench and Phoenix and everybody's scattered.
Oh, that's great. That's still one of my favorites. I still love that. It makes me laugh every time I see it. Yeah.
Well,
so it's funny.
Well, if you want to hear a Shaq story, I got a great one. And you were probably on this team, Rob, when this happened. Shaq, for all of his giganticness as a person, on the court, he was incredibly in control of his body. He'd literally have 5 guys hanging on him, and he'd go dunk. And very rarely did you see Shaq hit the deck. He just didn't. There was one. And keep in mind, I'm about 6 feet away from where these guys are playing under the basket. And there was one play where he went up, he got hacked in midair and sort of lost his balance and took a couple of off balance steps and literally fell right on me. And we were face to face like this, like pancakes. And I literally could not breathe. He took the wind out of me. I got lenses embedded in my chest, and we're face to face like this. And I'm like, and he's like, "Oh, is that you, man?" I'm like, "Yeah, get off me, man."
Big ass off.
And he goes, "Give it a second, man. We're on national TV."
Let me look like I'm kind of.
It was a Western Conference Finals game against San Antonio. I'll never forget it. There's actually video of that somewhere. Mm-hmm. And anyway, we joke about it now.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Wow. The guys know where the cameras are nowadays. I tell you that.
Yeah. A lot of guys have their own cameras down there. LeBron has his own guy who follows him.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I can believe that. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I'm sure he does because you can't always get him. It's like he has a photo of everything, walking into the arena, riding in the car. Every place. It's like, does he have a ticket on the plane too?
Yeah, I believe so. Probably. In Kobe's last year, he had that film crew follow him around, and that was very unusual. Except going back to the Last Dance era with the Bulls, when NBAE did follow, that team around for a couple of seasons, but mostly the final championship. But that footage has not seen the light of day yet. We're all waiting to see what Vanessa does with that footage.
Yeah,
I'd love to see that come out at some point.
I would love to see it too. I guarantee she has a strategic moment that is going to come out. And everybody's been talking about what 8/24/24.
Yeah,
like the magical number.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Yeah, it's true.
So Andy, I mean, you've shot. I mean, and this is the funny thing is too. If you don't know Andy, you know Andy because as I'm going through photos you've shot in your career, I'm like, oh, I've seen that a million times. Oh, I've seen that a million times. Like I've seen everything you've shot time and time again. Do you have a moment? Because I think for me, the one that I think is probably one of the more iconics is when you captured Jordan crying on the Larry O'Brien. Like that,
Yeah.
I've seen that photo countless times. I can't even remember. Didn't realize till recently. I was like, oh, that's an Andy picture. I didn't even realize it.
Yeah, I think two of my most well-known photos were not action photos, believe it or not. There was that one, Jordan with the trophy in '91.
Yeah.
Then there was the Kobe and Ice one, Rob, which I'm sure you remember, black and white, where he's got his busted ankles and two ice chests, and he's got his little busted finger in a coffee cup. And that was just a real moment in time. I pride myself first and foremost on being a photojournalist. So, I'm not up there with the great photojournalists that we've seen throughout the years who work for newspapers and wire services. But, my job is to record the moment. So with the Jordan moment, it just happened bang, bang in a crazy visitors locker room that, Rob, you remember the old Forum visitors locker room? It's about the size of the men's room,
Yeah, terrible.
All hell's breaking loose, and the network decides, we'll do the trophy presentation in here too, in the middle of all this chaos. And
no room.
It was crazy. Yeah, so they did the live shot of the trophy presentation with the commissioner, went to commercial, and then they wanted to come back and interview Michael one-on-one, and he disappeared. He just left the stage. It wasn't even a stage. It was like two folding tables. And frantically, everyone's looking for him. The producers, they're going to come back from commercial, and they got to interview him. And instinctively, something just said to me, look to your left. I was up on a bridge table in the middle of the room, just trying to get a vantage point. And he was maybe 4 or 5 feet away from me. And that moment happened. It just really quick like that. And it's really cool. And if you watch The Last Dance again, and they do an episode almost about that moment, the '91 championship, the first one, they zoom in on the ball of the trophy, and you literally could see me with the flash going on. It's crazy. I did a screenshot of it. I couldn't believe it.
Awesome.
It was amazing. Yeah.
Andy, when people are in the midst of doing great things, you've been in this industry for a long time, like you said, over 40 years. Most people, while they're in it, don't step back and get to realize how, the moments that they've been a part of and how great they were. Have you had the time to really sit back and be able to kind of smell the flowers and realize how great some of these moments were? Or is that something that you'll do, when you're, riding off into the sunset?
Well, I do. I recently, and that's another great question. I had the opportunity and really good fortune of going to the Showtime reunion that Magic and Pat Riley put together last year in Maui.
I'm jealous.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Jealous.
It was so much fun, and I think 43 guys came. If you had won one championship or multiple ones in the '80s with the Lakers, because they won 5 in that decade, you were invited to this thing. And myself and Gary Vitti and Jeffrey Osborne were the only non-players invited. And just to be there and to hear the stories and remember, wow, I was in Boston Garden in '85 when they won the championship. And, I filed that way back in the filing cabinet in my memory bank. But to have, the guys sitting around and talking about what that meant to them, right? And then other moments, especially with Rob, for example, I shot all of Rob's championships, right? So I have every finger, 1 through 7. Right? But the photo of you with your son, Rob, and then seeing him now is like an actual adult person, it just brings a lot back. And I get that a lot with a lot of season ticket holders, with kids like Luke Walton. I knew Luke Walton. He was literally in diapers when I met Bill. He played for the Clippers in '84. And I've shot all.
I think I'm grabbing the photo. It's in my office.
Oh, there you go.
He's got something.
I knew he was looking for something.
That's really gratifying.
So you talking about this one?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. And it's really gratifying for me because being the guy that documents that, I feel like it's the best gift that I can give of my talent, right?
Sure.
And then to be a historian of the game, David Stern gave me the greatest compliment, probably 5-6 years into my career during the Bird Magic era. He said that you're responsible for the visual history of this league.
It's not wrong.
Boss. That's really a daunting responsibility. But
Yeah, you know, but you have to think about it. When you talk about basketball, you talk about one of the most graceful sports there is, one of the fastest sports there is, because there's moments are happening just like that. So has there ever been a moment that you kind of just looked away and everybody it was a ooh and ah, you're like, damn it, what I missed?
So, yeah. How much time do we have, guys? Well, you know, what's the famous quote that Jordan or Kobe says, you know, you can't make shots you don't take, or Gretzky said it, or whatever. But
miss
you know,
100% of the shots you don't take.
Right. For every great shot you made, Rob, there was one that you wished had got in, right? So
the San Antonio one when I was with the Lakers, that cost me like $6 million, dude.
Yeah. Well, I can't relate to the $6 million.
None of us can.
No, it was the big one that sticks in my craw, will always be there, was the 2000 Olympics in Sydney. And remember when Vince Carter dunked over that French dude?
Yeah.
Guess who did not get that photo? Which happened right in front of me. Operator error, to say the least. That was an inexcusable thing, because I was on it. I just was not using equipment I should have been using. And one of the biggest things I take pride in, guys, is not being distracted during a game. You know, it's just, I'm there to work. I'm not there to watch the game. I'm not there to talk to the photographers or the season ticket holders behind me. You know, I got Sharon and Joe Hernandez behind me. I don't talk to them during the game. You know, I'll talk to them at a timeout or whatever. But, you know, you hear photographers yapping to each other, and boom, there goes, you know, a Blake Griffin dunk, which actually happened. And I'm looking at the guy. I'm like, what are you doing? You know, like, I got that shot. Why didn't you get it?
Right. So for people who don't know, Joe and Sharon Hernandez are great friends of the Lakers, the Clippers, the Rams, me, and they own Melissa's produce. And they're just really, when I say they're some of the nicest people in the world,
great.
Courtside, some of the nicest people. If you ever see me sitting courtside, it's because of them. I'm sitting in their seats. And to back it up a little bit, Rob, do you know who Jeffrey Osborne is?
I've heard that name, yeah.
Jeffrey Osborne, the reason he probably got invited to Hawaii with the guy, because he was like the guy who always sang the national anthem for the Lakers. Every time he sang,
that's why I knew it.
Won.
Okay.
You talking about Love Ballad, Jeffrey Osborne?
Yes, he always sang.
Can you woo 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 that?
So that's why he kind of got invited to the Lakers reunion, because he was like, anytime it was losing, bring Jeffrey in.
Yeah.
Never seen the national anthem.
You guys remember when the Philadelphia Flyers used to bring Kate Smith?
Absolutely.
Basically an opera singer.
Yeah.
They'd roll her out, man, and that was their secret weapon when they were playing, the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow. So we were talking about you missing moments. Had there been any Laker moments you missed?
Nothing really comes to mind. I mean, look, you know, everything has to come together. I'm thinking of Kobe, young Kobe, as you remember, was a dunk machine, really.
Yeah.
I mean, the kid would dunk 5, 6, 7 times a game, and they'd all be spectacular, you know, ridiculous dunks. And you can't get everyone because, you know, I get one shot every 4 seconds. I don't have a motor drive where it's like, you know, and I can pick one out. I have to time it perfectly, because of this light system that I use in the arenas. And sometimes it just doesn't come together. You know, guy's arms in his face, or referee could be blocking you, or all kinds of things could happen. But you know, you chalk that up to that's just kind of the way it is. Yeah. Can't really think of any Laker moments. There's a great Laker moment that I could have taken a picture of, which I didn't, and I can tell you that story. When the Pistons beat the Lakers in, when was that, 88? 88, 89? 88 in the Forum, right? And they won the championship in the Forum. It was the Bad Boys' first championship.
Yeah, that's one leg.
Rob, you remember the old Forum locker room where basically the home team and the visiting team shared a shower, basically. Like the shower was in the middle, and one locker room was on one side, was on the other.
It was like a Jack and Jill bathroom. We both have to share.
Yeah. So part of my job, guys, is to get obviously, the ecstasy of winning, but also the agony of defeat. So I got to go from the crazy victorious Pistons locker room to the Laker locker room to get some kind of dejection or something. It's just part of what I have to do. And there was no way to get through that hallway from the visitors locker room to the Lakers because it's just jammed with people. So I remember, I can cut through the shower and I'm end up in the Laker locker room. So I go through the shower and I see to the right, as I can see it in my mind's eye, the water is running and there's Magic and Coop in the shower with their jerseys on. They got their uniforms on. And Coop is like sitting on the floor with hands on his head like this. Magic's just sitting under the water. And I'm thinking, this is a great picture that I'll never take. Because I didn't even for a second think about picking up the camera because that would have, all the loyalty, integrity, trust that I had built would have gone out the window in a second, right? Yeah. So I told that story at the reunion. And Magic goes, damn well should not have taken that picture because you could be here today.
And if you look at the evolution of things and you look at the way certain things are done in any profession and look at the way it's done now, it's drastically different. When you look at some of the young photographers now and you look at, some of the differences in the ways that they do things versus the way that I guess you may have done things coming through the years, are there some things that you see that are the same or many things that you see are different, or are you taking some things now that you're still in it from some of the kids and applying it to your, arsenal as well? How do you see that?
Well, the thing that bothers me the most, I must preface it by saying I love the fact that the craft of photography is now in everybody's pocket, right? So everybody has an iPhone. Everybody can be a photographer, whether you're a toddler or a 100-year-old person, which is great for our craft, right? Mm-hmm. There is a distinction between a professional sports photographer and somebody who is taking an iPhone picture or point and shoot or whatever. And it's obvious. Right. Difference between an NBA player and somebody who's playing, in the playgrounds too, right? So, the thing that bothers me the most about this youngest generation, and I do teach at the college level, is that they take a lot of shortcuts. They don't understand that it's an incremental process to get to where you're going. There's 30 jobs in the NBA, right? That's it. 30 team photographers. In fact, there's only 28 because I have 2 teams and my friend Nat Butler in New York has 2 teams. So, I think of those 30, 25 of us have been with our teams 20 years or more. There's not much turnaround. However, the teams now across the board in every league are hiring their own quote unquote content groups. Basically young social media people who don't have a lot of photography experience. They have a lot of social media experience, which is great. And they're the ones you see when you walk in the arena and they're shooting the videos, the guys arriving. But they have actually ratcheted up their photography skills too. And I do see what they do. I do see that, Russell Westbrook created the arrival photos. That didn't happen before Russell started putting on crazy clothes and stylish and all that stuff. So now that's a given, and the NBA, WNBA, probably every other league is shooting that. Not something I really love doing, getting to the arena at 2:00 in the afternoon to get guys walking in street clothes. So I've been able, luckily, to delegate that out. But I see what people are doing and how they're doing it creatively. They're using lighting. They're doing cool backdrops and things like that. So I try to mentor the younger generation. I try to get across that, none of us got here to this level at the NBA by taking a shortcut, by not going through, the gauntlet of steps that it takes. I mean, I'm preaching to the choir. Rob didn't just all of a sudden show up on an NBA roster. I mean, he started when he was a young kid and then working his way up and then, going, to a great college and working. And the fundamentals stay the same. I see the guys, the players doing the same fundamentals it might be a little more high-techy now, of course. But, the trainers are getting them ready the same way that even going back to like seeing Tim Grover with Michael Jordan, I'm seeing that I saw that with Kobe and his trainer and with the guys today. So,
it's weird that you mentioned that when guys come in, it'll show you how things have changed. I remember when we used to come in, we just come in, we had to be suited up because David Stern said everybody had to wear suits to the game. Yeah. And I remember when the Charlotte Hornets used to come in, it was Muggsy, Zoe, and Grandmama. They were all getting off with their bags, their suits, their sunglasses. And we used to sit by like, who do these motherfuckers think they are coming out cool? And it was like one of the things used to piss us off, but now it's just the norm. Like everybody comes in with sunglasses. Everybody walks in, with their little swag, and it's just everything just changes. And now it's just publicized more in the pictures and stuff. Because I don't think I could have done it. I used to hate when the camera's in your face when you walking in. I'm like, dude, I'm trying to get my mind right now. You trying to, film me, and I got to look cool. I'm more conscious of that. But it's weird, man.
Well, as you remember with this, when you were with the Spurs used to come in the back way. We never had access to the Spurs. To this day, we don't have access to them. Oh, wow. Because they park and then they come in the back way and never go through the media gauntlet. And they'd have to do it on the road, but not at home.
But the only time they would let them do it, they're like during the finals.
Yes, during the finals. They might
let them back there during the finals. 'Cause I remember they have a picture of me coming in, and I'm like, I never even know. I think it was you I was pointing at. It's a video, and we're coming in the back, and I was like, hey! And they had me on camera doing that. So, because nobody ever went back to Spurs. Spurs always been like, hey, we're going to be low-key, we're going to be as stealth as possible so we can focus.
Yeah, no, it's true. Popovich ran a very tight ship, to say the least.
Still does. Andy, where can people find your stuff? If people want to go back and kind of look through the history of the NBA, I'm sure you have. I know you've got books out and stuff like that.
Yeah, sure. Well, the book that I'm most well known for is the Mamba Mentality book that I did with Kobe. Yeah. So the Mamba Mentality, How I Play, you can get that everywhere, Amazon or whatever. It's in a lot of different languages too. Phil Jackson and I did a book called Journey to the Ring, the 2009 10 championship. So that's out there. NBA.com is a good place to see my NBA photography, but my work can be seen on my Instagram, primarily ADB Photo Inc. And I'm plugging, obviously, my own podcast and my own platform, Legends of Sport. So legendsofsport.net and Legends of Sport on Instagram.
That's awesome. Okay. Andy, you're a legend.
So hopefully one day I'll be a legend. I can come on there, Andy.
You are a legend. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
For years, Rob.
I'm totally kidding. I would mess with Andy because Andy has never given me a photo of my shot. And so that's why I wanted to have him on the podcast so I can put him on blast right now.
Well, hold on. I missed the shot. You talking about the shot against Portland, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the shot against Sacramento.
Sacramento.
Oh, yeah.
I missed it. That is number 3 on the hit list.
Hey, that's why I mentioned that early, because I know you missed it, and so I was trying to get you to mention that.
Killing me, man. No, that of course I blocked it out of my mind because it's so painful. But that was a case in point where you remember how bang bang that was, right?
Yeah.
The ball suddenly ends up in your hands.
Yep.
And happened in a split second. I had just shot the whatever was happening when the ball got batted to you. I don't know if Shaq took a shot or
Kobe missed a layup. Shaq missed the tip in. Yeah.
Right. So I shot the tip in I was on the other end of the court, but then I need 3.5 to 4 seconds to be able to shoot again because my lights have to recycle up. So if you imagine like huge batteries have to come back up to be able to push the button again, that the lights come out. I pushed the button, but I got nothing. I got no frame. So, that was one of the moments where I was doing my job, but the equipment let me down.
Yeah. Who took the picture then of the one that we use in our logo of Rob mean mugging after the shot went down, and like Shaq's running behind him with his finger in the air? Was that you?
I might have taken that one, or the one you're talking about. I think was from an elevated angle. I ran on the court. and got the guys mugging him and everything.
Okay.
But That picture I think was taken by an AP or Getty photographer.
Okay.
Got it.
Yeah, that was a great shot.
Yeah, that's always the one I think of. Is that that one?
Yeah, we
I
had
was
to go
messing
to
with Andy all the time about this because the young lady from Sacramento is the one who gave me the picture.
That's right. Yeah, 'cause I was sitting next to the Sacramento Bee photographer,
Mm-hmm.
and I looked at him. I said, "You got that right?" And he goes, "Yeah." I said, "We'll be calling you."
All right, Andy, you're the best, man. We'll let you run. We appreciate all your time, dude.
Appreciate it, Andy.
Dude, thank you
Andy,
for sharing
just-
the stories, man.
Yeah, and just text me when you need me, man. I'm here for you always, man. I love you, brother.
Thank you, Rob. You're the best, man.
Yeah.
And great to meet you guys too.
Yes, sir.
But, happy almost birthday. I know when this will run. Probably after your
I
birthday.
know it
but-
airs today. Yeah, it's going to go up
great.
today, so we're good.
Great. Well,
Yeah.
all the best to you and yours, Rob. And
Same
guys,
here,
great to
brother.
meet you.
Hey, when we going to get the pizza again, man?
Hey, we got to do that. We got to
Yes.
grab Brad and we'll go get something to eat.
Yeah,
Do
we
it.
right down the street. We live close to each other.
Yeah, I've been hanging out at the Ice House, which Johnny Buss owns in Pasadena. It's super fun, man.
What? You have to let me know. I'll come meet you.
Yeah, you would like it. Great comedy. So I'm
Okay.
plugging the Ice House here for
No worries. Hey, as you can see right there, look, this is Sincoro bottle from my birthday party, so I plug Sincoro too.
Yeah, Joker's empty. That Joker's empty. What are you talking about?
Well, happiest of birthdays, Rob. You deserve
Thank you,
it.
brother.
Thanks,
you.
Andy.
Andy.
We appreciate you.
All right,
man.
thank you.
All
Yeah.
right, all the best, buddy.
Okay.
Andy Bernstein, ladies and gentlemen.
Holy cow.
Actually, this bottle's full, dude. It's not empty.
Oh,
I
it's
get
empty.
this
Don't
one.
even pull that crap. It's got to be bone dry. That's,
Look, it's
oh no,
full.
okay, it's full. All right, it's
I hit this one. I gotta keep one for myself. I can be a little selfish at times.
yeah, like every now and then, I'm gonna hide one in the office.
Uh-huh.
Man, Rob spent a lot of time in the office, and they've been doing the podcast 5 days a week. Wow, Oh
Hey, this
man,
has
dude,
become an after
Andy.
dark podcast if I keep drinking.
I'll tell you what, Andy. You forget sometimes that
Yeah.
he's seen everything. Like he's been behind the scenes of like every huge pivotal moment of what is effectively my adolescence and childhood with the NBA. I mean,
Just think about all the not just finals, but the great playoff series he's covered.
everything. I mean,
Yeah.
and I didn't realize. I really just genuinely didn't realize until recently that he took the Jordan crying on the Larry O'Brien trophy. That photo is, I mean, as iconic as it gets.
Yeah.
So,
And it's
I mean,
so many
just-
other photos.
wow.
I'm sure that he probably got by mistake. He
Oh, I'm
can't show
sure.
nobody.
Yeah.
So
The one that I'm sure everybody's probably seen. I want to say it was probably I think it was 2020, where LeBron is in the middle of the dunk and he was going for the reverse windmill, and he got that wide shot from under the basket where it's like everybody's cleared out and it's just LeBron, and you could see the basket, you could see the whole inner workings of the arena, and it's a wild shot.
and
it's
the
cool.
clarity of these pictures that
Holy
he does
cow.
sometimes is jeez.
Dude, it's nuts.
amazing, man.
But yeah, well, he's been there for everything. All right, a couple more things we got to get to. We didn't have a chance to get to when Andy was on here.
Hey, but y'all like how I kind of was like kept baiting Andy and he didn't fall for it to the end.
Oh,
about
yeah,
not
yeah,
taking
yeah.
that picture.
Yeah.
How did he not? I mean, I get he explained how he didn't get it, but of
Yeah.
all the freaking Lakers moments, not to get that freaking shot, man, that shot.
Hey, man.
That's
I
gotta.
messed with
I don't
it.
know how that wasn't in his top moments of things he missed.
I know. I think he's trying to avoid it. That's why I kept asking the questions. No, I'm not letting you get out of this, dude. I'm not letting you get out of this.
Jeez, Homer Simpson in the bushes. You didn't bring this up. Yeah, not happening. I don't know if there's anything to this story. I've got audio of Giannis this week. TMZ got Giannis out, and they asked him with everything going on with Live Golf and the Saudis and stuff, and all the money that these soccer players are taking, and they asked Giannis would he play for the Saudis.
You would consider after your NBA career taking the bag and playing in Saudi Arabia? After your NBA career?
Of course.
Yeah? How much money would it take, or just depends on?
A lot of money, baby.
Yeah?
Saudi, we on the way, baby.
Okay.
Now, I'm not, no, for starters, most annoying TMZ guy ever. Jesus. The Saudis, they have no reservations about opening up the bag, paying some of these guys, man. They don't.
Wow.
Holy cow! But like, I don't know. There something about that seems like. Could you imagine a world in which a Saudi-run company starts a rival NBA?
Hey, trust me, the way these guys love their bag more in the game, it'll be half the league gone because they try to look out for their future and talk about, yo, man, I might even get my fat ass in shape and try to make a squad. But yeah, I don't. At the end of the day, some of these guys you can't blame them. Because they're leaving school early and not getting the degrees and not, getting the education where they can so they need this money to advance their, careers and use it to build an empire, so to say. So yeah. I take the money too. I ain't gonna lie. I run off. I'm like 76 million, 300 million. What they're paying these golf guys?
Oh God.
Just to walk around. Think about what they'll pay these guys to run around.
By the way, those guys made out like thieves. Because they all took their money from Live Golf and got paid, and then the PGA was like, "Oh, we're good. Let's all merge back together again." So it's like all those dudes got broke off.
Yeah,
and got to go right back to doing what they were doing before.
Yeah, the PGA is a bunch of punks because this was going to happen.
Hardcore.
You want to stand on principle and morals, but then at the same time you turn around and do this merger. What happened to the principle? You realize that they had more money than you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The money loan.
Take all your people.
Yep.
TV was going to go out the window.
Q, why can't we be friends? That's exactly what happened.
Why can't we be friends? Because your ass is broke. That's why we can't be friends. You ain't got no money. That's why we ain't friends. It's hard for me to imagine a company trying to start a rival NBA. And the only reason I think that is because it's like, and not that that's what the Giannis stuff was, but thinking out loud on the idea of Saudis coming in with tons of money. Like, how many times has someone tried to go up against the NFL? And just fallen flat on their face. Like 6 rival NFLs, and none of them are successful. Not even a little bit.
I think the NFL is a little different. I don't know if you can, because you have so many guys on a team, really so many guys on the field, you got to find enough guys to be able to compete. Whereas with basketball, you need a star or two. Like basketball is just really worldwide. Football worldwide is different because football is soccer everywhere else.
Yes.
So American football, you're not finding that everywhere.
Yeah, because you can really go to the street ball and get some of these street ball. You remember have y'all ever watched a documentary on And1?
I saw a little bit of it.
No, I haven't. No.
You have to watch it. This is incredible how these guys, the fall of And1 was because the guys who owned And1 was making, I don't know the numbers, but let's say they was making $200 and only giving the other guys $1. And so it was a big discrepancy on how they was getting paid. And then one of the guys was like, just happened to walk into the production area and they had a feast. They had pizza and wings. And they're like, what the fuck is this shit, man? We the one out here, putting the labor in and y'all getting paid. And that's where it started crumbling down. So it's a good doc. No.
Oh, yeah, we got to check it out. All right. Well, did you ever have the thought go through your head about playing overseas at any point? I guess you never really had to, right?
I didn't have to. My last year, I got offered a nice piece of chain to go play.
I think you told us that once.
Yeah, but I just, it wasn't that important for me, man. The money has never been one of those things I chased. And I've told you this, I've turned down more money to go to Miami and Dallas. It's just about being comfortable, being around your family, your friends, and your happiness becomes their happiness, and it's just a great moment to share when you're in the NBA with your family.
Okay. Interesting. We'll see what it comes of it. One more story, then we're going to do Big Shot of the Week, and we'll get to our game. I had to put this on the sheet. Marcus and Larsa, and here's the only reason I'm bringing it up again. They asked him if they were going to get married, and Marcus, with a big-ass smile on his face, says, we're looking for a location. Apparently, Larsa Pippen's been spotted with a ring on her finger. So, now, Michael Jordan, who does not approve of the relationship and has said so publicly, could become Larsa Pippen's father-in-law? That dynamic is mind-boggling to me. Scotty's ex could be your daughter-in-law.
She's never going to get invited over for Thanksgiving
dinner.
No!
Every holiday is going to be just a mess.
It's
just a mess.
Everybody come but you, son.
Oh,
you can come without your wife.
Yeah.
That's a family dynamic oh, God, I don't know. That makes my brain hurt, trying to think of how that family dynamic would work after that. Because we know Scotty and Mike don't necessarily get along very much these days.
It's just always weird to me. It's like those two guys don't get along. I know I know.
I think
weird.
honestly, I think they're both at fault in that.
Yeah.
I think Mike is Mike, and we know Mike can be difficult, and he is who he is, and he is the way. And then Scotty wants his due, and felt like he never got it. And then
I've dealt with a lot of difficult people too. In
You
my
would
career.
consider.
Oh, sorry, I hit the keyboard.
I just wouldn't fuck with him. I'm like, I ain't gonna talk bad about him. I could sit here and tell you 5 guys or 3 to 5 guys of each team that I don't with you, but I'm not gonna make it public. But if I see him, act like we boys, and then we both pretend and we move on.
Right.
I'm not going to. So, but I guess when you at that level, it's a little bit more important, a little bit more, scandalous, so to say.
I guess
it's different.
The dynamic is so wild.
Just they're always going to be tied together because of the run that they had.
Sure,
you never would have thought in a million.
One of the
years
best duos ever.
Yeah.
People never talk about that duo.
The best. Probably the best. I mean,
no one would have ever thought that this is also something that would tie them together.
Oh,
it's like in the weirdest way.
Yeah, it really is. All right, let's do Big Shot of the Week, and then we'll play our game. Big Shot of the Week is going to go to a team of unnamed Florida lifeguards. The reason they are unnamed is over the weekend they were spotted via drone trying to save somebody from the undertow. He had gotten too far out, and they didn't have any rescue vehicles. So these lifeguards formed like a human chain from the shore to the guy that was drifting out to sea. And it's like 15, 20 people, and it was just caught on drone footage of them doing it.
Seriously?
And they got out to that guy, grabbed him, saved him, and were able to pull him back to shore. But it was like 10, 15 lifeguards out there just arm in arm, just trying to get as far out to get this guy as they could to save him from the undertow, and they saved his life. Because who the hell knows? They didn't have a boat in the area. They didn't have any vehicles in the water, and that dude was caught in the undertow, and he was drifting off.
That's a big shot because you putting your life at risk. I used to be a lifeguard, and I used to have to think about that. I'm like, damn, if someone put you in that death grip when you go to try to save them because they panicking, you're gone for trying to be a hero. But anytime someone put their lives at stake to save some unknown person, life is really a big shot for me.
That's true.
And undertow is no joke.
Yeah,
like that. I mean, you get caught in that thing, it's like
you're gone.
I mean, that's it. Before you even know what's going on, you're gone.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the basketball player who we lost a couple of years back, where he jumped in to save his wife. He saved his wife, but the undertow took him, and they found him later. Like he was trapped in them. His leg was trapped in a rock.
I remember the story, but I don't remember who it was.
I can't remember who it was. And that's one of the main reasons I tell people I don't mess with Mother Nature when it comes out to being in your river,
to that water,
oceans, a pond. Not even a
Roundfield.
pond. Yeah, Dan Roundfield.
Dan Roundfield.
Only kind of water I mess with is a pool. Other than that, I ain't fooling with it.
I'm good otherwise. All right, let's get to this week's game. We're gonna play shot clock.
Hold on.
Here comes.
One of my favorite shows to watch is The Weakest Link. You made me have deja vu because every question.
Because I stole a bunch of questions from The Weakest Link. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the same. I'm like, hold on, I know this. I kept saying to Ken, like, these are the questions we had a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, when I do rapid fire, I'll go to like 5 different places and I'll like pull questions. And I had a whole list of Weakest Link questions, and I'm like, oh, these are perfect. Copy paste. That's perfect.
See, I shouldn't have said anything because I love watching the show. I know you're gonna circle back to that game.
Oh
and
no,
some of the questions I will remember
that's it. No, we're not doing The Weakest Link anymore. Now I'm gonna pull those questions from somewhere else.
Somebody else.
We're gonna steal somebody else's content.
I should have kept that to myself so I could look smart.
Yep. Be like, damn, he's like watching Jeopardy on reruns, man. What the hell's going on? All right, shot clock. To remind everybody how shot clock works, I'm gonna give you guys a topic. I'm going to let you guess how many of said topic you can get in 10 seconds. And you get to bid against each other back and forth. So, for instance, Ant-Man had a huge game the other night against Germany.
He's killing it.
Dude.
Yes.
I mean, he was it was like 30-some points. And he was on fire. You couldn't stop that kid the other night. Caught LeBron looking, too. LeBron on Instagram throwing him some love. So, in 10 seconds, how many members of the Team USA roster that's currently playing can you pull? In 10 seconds. We'll let Rob go first and place a wager. You think you can pull 5? Harp, can you pull 6?
Yeah.
Rob probably gonna know more than
Rob,
me.
can you pull 7?
Can I just say their last names?
I'll be okay with that if I can.
Smith Jones.
Well, if you just start naming random last names, that ain't gonna work.
Because they're the most common and generic last
exactly
names
right.
ever.
Oh,
If they have a nickname and we know it, sure.
Yeah.
I go 7.
All right, Harp, can you do 8? There's only 12 guys on the team.
I think I can do 8.
I'm gonna give him 8.
Oh.
Because I know.
You may have bitten off more than you could chew, but let's see. All right, Harp, you got 10 seconds. 8 guys on the team NBA. Go.
Ant-Man, Jaren Jackson Jr., Brandon Ingram, Mikal Bridges, Jalen Brunson, Halliburton, Josh Hart, Cameron Johnson, Paolo Banchero.
Oh! Yeah, you got it. You got it right at the buzzer. You could have pulled 9. Shit, you had 9. You had 9 and 10. Who did you miss? Austin Reeves,
Dang,
Bobby
I missed my Laker
Portis,
guy.
Walker Kessler. I think were the only 3 you missed.
Yeah.
You got
I would have
everybody
never
else.
named Kessler. That's the only one I didn't know. I just didn't think you could run off the names in that much time.
I didn't think
fast,
so
man.
either.
You got it pretty quick. All right, so it's a
Yeah.
point for Harp. Good job. All right, story number 2. Britney Spears announced this week that unfortunately her marriage has come to an end. She's getting divorced. This is a big story, apparently. She's posting a lot of racy photos on her Instagram. So if you've never followed Britney Spears on Instagram, that's probably a good time to do it. In 10 seconds, Harp, how many Britney Spears songs can you name?
Probably 4.
Go ahead.
Oh, shit. He punted to you in a heartbeat.
I don't even know that. All I only know is 1.
All right, Harp, you got 10 seconds. Go.
Baby One More Time, Oops, I Did It Again, Sometimes, Womanizer.
Good job. Strong showing. That's a strong showing.
See, I only know Oops, I Did It Again.
Yeah.
Is it Baby Hit Me One More Time? Is that
Hit
her
Me
song?
Baby One More
Baby,
Time.
One More
Yeah.
Time.
Okay.
Yeah, you got that one. All
See,
right.
that's I like, dude. Nah, I don't know. Hey, I just went to the Taylor Swift concert. I knew one song. Shake It Off. That's it.
Arguably the most popular artist in the world right now. Yeah, you got one song. Which is better than Bad Bunny, where you had 0.
Oh, please. I ain't gonna know.
All right, Rob. Chris Martinet is a name you may not know, but you definitely know. He's the iconic voice of Super Mario from the Super Mario Brothers games, and he announced this week he's stepping down as the voice
Seriously?
of Super Mario. Yeah, Chris Martinet is not involved in the new Super Mario game. He's stepping back from voicing the character, so they're going to have a new voice of Super Mario in the new game they're developing. In 10 seconds, how many Super Mario Brothers characters can you pull?
Yeah, just 4.
4. Harp.
Hold on. Let's see.
No, you don't get to do it ahead of time and then figure out how you can say 5 or you move on.
Super Mario.
Rob said 4.
Hey, go ahead.
All right, Rob, can you pull 4 Mario characters? 10 seconds. Here we go.
Donkey Kong, Mario, Luigi, and Inferno.
And who?
Inferno. That's his name, Inferno, right? The one that spits fire.
Talking about Bowser?
That's Mr. Yeah, it's Bowser.
Bowser.
he didn't get that one.
He
That's
didn't get
I thought
Bowser.
his name was Inferno.
I'm like, Inferno.
In his other name, Cooper.
No, he's a Koopa. He's a Koopa Trooper. Yeah, he's a
Koopa Trooper.
It's like the type of turtle. Or
Got
whatever
it.
the hell
Okay,
he
cool.
I
is.
thought, why did I think his name was Inferno?
Inferno, I'm
No,
like,
his definitely name is definitely Bowser.
The hell game are you playing?
You didn't say Donkey Kong.
Yeah, he did.
I
Oh,
said
did?
Donkey Kong.
Oh, okay.
I
I
said
said Donkey Kong, Mario,
Donkey
Luigi.
Kong.
Oh, so you
and-
got those 3.
And then
What's
the
the girl's
knockoff
name?
Super Mario
Princess
Princess
something.
Peach.
You got that one on another game. I think you got Princess
I
Peach.
did.
Inferno. What kind of knockoff Mario games did you guys play in Andalusia,
Hey man,
Alabama?
I was
Named
poor man. We had to
Inferno.
go to the dollar store and pay less. So shit,
Yeah.
we didn't have the real stuff.
He's not the Super Mario. It's the medium Mario Brothers. It's the adequate Mario Brothers. That's who we played. All right, Harp. Blue Beetle took the top box office spot this weekend. I thought it was okay. But
you saw it?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I went and saw it.
I haven't seen it either.
It was all right. I mean, it's fun, but like so few of these movies, I'm very sick of the origin story superhero movie because I feel
Why?
like every new hero, it's a big origin story, and by the end, it's like I'm the hero, and the movie's over. And it's like that's what made the Avengers great, was like, okay, we already did all the setup shit. We're through all that. Now everybody's just going off and fighting and, having adventures and stuff. So Blue Beetle, it's good. It's very funny. It was just all right for me. But he took the top box office this weekend, $25.4 million. Harp, in 10 seconds, how many DC superheroes can you pull?
You don't know nobody.
I could do 7.
You could do 7 DC superheroes. Rob, can you do
in how many seconds?
In 10 seconds. You got 10
Yeah, he can have that shit in 10 seconds. I ain't no doubt.
Rob said, here you go.
It's going to take you 5 seconds to say one of those names.
All right, 10 seconds, Harp, go.
Superman, Batman, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Supergirl, Green Lantern, Flash.
That's 7.
That's
what are
7.
you waving your finger at?
I'm messing with it. I'm just trying to distract you.
Don't tell me what I don't know.
Like Rob's over here to Dikembe Mutombo in your ass. He's, no. Oh, no. All right, well, Harp is murdered. Martian Manhunter.
Hey, I said 7. Man. I did what I said I was going to. I could have done more.
Justice League, man. Yeah. And you got the layup with Superman and Supergirl, so that was good. That was smart.
He's such a good guy. He named Lex Luthor, Solomon Grundy. You got to go with some villains, man.
And the bad guy, Riddler, Joker.
Look, there were no specifics. I did the job.
Well, the specifics was superheroes, not supervillains.
Exactly.
Technically, he got the question right. All right, last question, Rob. People are enraged that Fat Bottom Girls is being left off of Queen's latest Greatest Hits album. What they fail to realize, by the way, though, is that this Greatest Hits album is being released on a platform called Yoto, which is an audio player designed for children. So that's why they left Fat Bottom Girls off the list. But it is arguably one of Queen's biggest hits. In 10 seconds, how many Queen songs can you pull? I think we lost Rob.
No, you didn't.
I thought you were frozen. You were just like,
he there.
I'm just looking like, who the fuck is Queen, man?
You know who Queen is.
Dude,
you've heard one of their songs seven times.
I know. You see one song all the time. I can't even tell you the name of that damn song. Is it "We Are the Champions"? Is that the song?
That's it.
Okay,
I know
that's
you've heard that one at least 7 times.
One. One Queen song.
Can you pull 2 Queen songs?
Yeah, 2.
All right, here you go. 2 Queen songs. Go ahead, knock it out.
We Are the Champions and Fat Bottom Girls.
Bust his ass out.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.